Welcome everybody. Today we are going to talk about whether online courses are as good as face-to-face courses. This is a question I'm seeing brought up a lot right now in the media with a lot of people going online. I also want to talk about, this is a research topic we've been dealing with for well over 20 years now, since we've been introducing online courses in higher ed and K-12 education and corporate and government and everywhere else. So let's get in and talk about the differences. Okay, so the first thing I want to point out is the research. There was a very large meta-analysis done. This was done 20 years ago. A meta-analysis is when they take a bunch of research studies and see what the results are compiled together. This was probably one of the best studies done on this topic, on my opinion, and the results still stand today, and I will talk about those results. But the results were, there is no significant difference between online learning and face-to-face learning. The meta-analysis was actually called the no significant difference phenomenon. All right, now let's talk about what that means. What does that mean there was no significant difference? Does that mean if I develop an online course and a face-to-face course, there's not going to be a difference? No, it doesn't mean that. What it means is if someone puts a well-designed face-to-face course, like they've had good instructional strategies, they've had time to develop it, it's developed correctly and developed right. They didn't just like throw up PowerPoint slides onto a screen. And then you take a well-designed face-to-face course where a teacher has good teaching strategies and did everything the way you're supposed to. The students in both of those courses should learn an equivalent amount of information. Now, if you develop a good face-to-face course and a bad online course, of course there's going to be a difference. And you can say the same thing in the opposite way. You can develop a great online course and a terrible face-to-face course, and someone could be saying face-to-face courses are terrible. So you cannot judge it like that. It's about well-designed. So that's the key. When you have a well-designed online course, it will be just as good as a well-designed face-to-face course. Now, if you do not have a well-designed face-to-face course or online course, it will be bad. This is what the research says. The research agrees with this. Achievement is the same. Student learning is the same. Now, a student might like online learning or like face-to-face learning different, but that doesn't mean the course is bad if a student prefers one or the other. So we have to remember all of this stuff when we're factoring it in. So for me to just make it a blanket statement that one is better than the other, no, it does not work like that. Maybe there are situations and certain types of learners and certain circumstances where face-to-face is better or when online is better. So you have to take your learners and do a significant amount of analysis work and upfront work to determine when are each of these an appropriate solution for your audience and for your problem or your circumstance or whatever you're trying to do. But you can't just make a blanket statement that one is better or worse than the other. Maybe online learning is better or worse in X situation, and the other is true in a different situation. But when you're designing these courses and you're designing them in using sound instructional strategies, sound practices, using good design techniques, they will both fulfill the purpose that they are designed for, and they will do that very much equally. So those are my thoughts. That is also what the research says about this topic. So please remember, there is no significant difference. It's about designing them for a certain time, certain situation, certain place, certain audience, using sound instructional strategies, sound instructional practices. Thank you very much. Have a good day.